Hi, it's Angela from Cooking for Real, and I'm going to answer 10 questions for cooking YouTube creators. I tried to do it live, but I guess I can't do that from my phone. So, question number 1 is, what other YouTube channels do you follow? I like Brad Mondo, and I follow Elton Brown, and I like Stacy's Country Cooking, and I would eat everything she makes. She's amazing. Number 2, what is your cooking pet peeve? My cooking pet peeve, I'll actually say it's like when you go to a restaurant and you see that the cook and the wait staff has their hair down. Or if they have big scraggly beards. Like, I have a real hang up with hair when it comes to food, and I mean, I shed a lot, so I'm one to say. Do you measure? Why? Okay. Sometimes I measure because you really ought to when you're baking. Mostly if I measure on my channel, it's to give my viewers a chance to actually replicate my recipe. But as a rule, I personally usually just eyeball everything. 4, what makes your channel different? Okay, that's actually something I'm proud of. My channel is different because I make things everybody can make. A lot of the cooking channels, not Stacy, because she's a lot like me with that. You can make what she makes. But a lot of these channels, they're super fancy and they require specialist tools, and you almost have had to go to culinary school to recreate these things. I want, when you're done watching my show, to be able to replicate this and put it in front of your family. And you know, usually if I make a mistake, I leave it in because we learn from our mistakes. Where did you learn to cook? All around. My mom taught me, my grandma taught me, watched a lot of cooking shows. I've stood in other people's kitchens and watched their technique. It was not classically trained, for sure. Favorite celebrity chef is rough. Gordon Ramsay, for sure. Alton Brown, as you know, I follow him. And Anne Burrell. I love Anne Burrell. Have I ever cooked professionally? Does putting chili in a bowl at a diner count? No, I've never cooked professionally. What was the first recipe on your channel? I have to think back. I believe it was penne. It's something I'm rather proud of, my ability to make penne. And it's a stolen recipe. A young lady that I worked with taught me how to make penne, and honestly, it was the best penne I ever had. So every time I make it, I try to replicate her recipe. And again, there's no measurements in her recipe. It's like, put some parsley in, pat some butter on it. Like, it's some. Not even a handful or a pinch, it's some. For favorite piece of kitchen equipment. Now that changes all the time. Currently, I have to say it's my cast iron frying pan, but a few months ago you could have easily said it was my crock pot, and even so much as 2 weeks ago you could have said it was my pasta maker, but it just depends on what I'm into at the moment. And number 10, what do you hope people take away from your channel? I hope I help people get over the fear. So many people tell me they can't cook, and my reply is usually, well, you just have to read. You know, if you can read a recipe book, you can usually cook. And paying attention to temperatures, because people want to turn everything up all the way high, and it might cook faster, but it doesn't cook right. So I just hope I take some of the fear out of cooking for people. And that's it. So I'm going to forward these questions to Stacy and see if she'll answer them, and then Stacy, if you answer them, I want you to forward these questions to a cook that you admire on YouTube.